Good morning again, my mga anak. We are now moving to the next topic or next module, which is photosynthesis and cellular respiration. Take note that this topic is one of the bases of life. Why? Since photosynthesis is the food-making process of plant, okay? And plant is the basic source of food for heterotrophs or consumers. So without them, without the producers, there is no life. Okay, let's move forward. Photosynthesis. What is behind photosynthesis? Okay, photosynthesis is a process by which carbon dioxide, water, and certain inorganic salts are converted into carbohydrates by green plants, algae, and certain bacteria using energy from the sun. Take note that the sun is not just the ultimate source, but rather one major source of energy. Okay, there are some sources of energy, like for example, under the sea or under the ocean, you can actually see some of the sea mounts. Okay, scientists discovered that there are some organisms living in the sea mounts. There are some bacteria living in the sea mounts. Okay, they can actually perform chemosynthesis rather than photosynthesis. So therefore, the sun is not the ultimate source, but rather one of the major sources, because some of the organisms consume the chemicals in the sea mounts through the process of chemosynthesis. Parts of the plant involved in photosynthesis, we have the leaf, number one. Okay, the leaf is a primary structure where photosynthesis occurs. Although green parts of a leaf, like stems, are also involved because they contain chlorophyll in the process, certain external and internal features of a leaf are involved in photosynthesis. Okay, let us examine how a leaf is designed to carry out photosynthesis. Why your leaf looks like that? Okay, what's with that feature? Right? External features of a leaf. Yeah, a leaf is flat, so it can capture enough sunlight. So they need to be flat. Okay, they need to expand in order to capture more light or more sunlight. One of the essential ingredients in photosynthesis. It is also very thin, so that light can easily penetrate right through it. Okay. What if it is thick? Okay, how can the light penetrate? Okay, that's the problem, right? Remember that in order for a plant to perform photosynthesis, it should capture the photons, or the basic unit of light is photon. Okay. Remember also that only 2% of light will be absorbed by the plant. The rest are reflected back, especially the green color. That is why your plant reflected green colors. Okay, they reflect it back. Leaves vary extensively in form, but generally consist of flattened blade. It has a blade and a stalk. The petiole, which connects the leaf to the stem, and a node. Okay, this is the structure of your leaf. Okay, this is the petiole, which holds the leaf. Okay, axil, the nodes is in the here. This one, the one that connects the petiole to the stem. Okay, midrib is in the middle. Veins are the larger one. Okay, venules are the smaller ones. You can actually see it there. And this is the blade. Okay, and in the blade you can actually see margins. This one. Okay, in our experiment before, we tried removing the chlorophyll on a leaf. Okay, because we are thinking about, is the leaf really performs photosynthesis? Is photosynthesis really happening in the leaf? So those are our questions before in our Science 9 during the face-to-face. Okay, so we tend to what? to remove the chlorophyll and check on the starch if there is a presence of starch. Okay, remove the chlorophyll. We drop something in the leaf which reacts, or the one that we drop will react on the sugar or starch present on a leaf. And there you go. Yes, there is a presence of starch, or there is a presence of C6H12O6 or sugar or glucose. Meaning to say that it's true that the major part of plant where photosynthesis occurs is the leaf. Okay. Monocots and dicots vary in the arrangements of beans. Okay, you'll be amazed of this. The vascular tissue of leaves. Monocots have a parallel veins. Okay, take note that monocots have parallel veins that run on the length of the blade, while dicotyledons, have branched networks of veins. Monocots or monocotyledon, when you say monocotyledon, it has only one cotyledon. It looks like a seed. Okay. When the plant grows, okay, when the plant grows, it creates a seed-like form. Okay. It is a cotyledon. Again, monocotyledon have parallel veins, and dicotyledon have branched networks of veins. Like for this example. Okay. This is a monocot plant. As you can see, it has a parallel venation. This is venation. Okay. It has a parallel venation. And in the dicotyledon plant, you can actually see branch venation. Okay. This is just one way to compare a plant. Okay. If it is a dicot or a monocot. Okay. Internal features of a leaf. There you go. A close examination of a small section of a leaf blade or lamina, laminae in plural, reveals various layers of cells. These cells have specialized functions. Remember that your leaf is not just an ordinary organ. Okay? It consists of different specialized functions, all for the benefit of the plant. Okay? If you're going to have a cross-section of your leaf, you can actually observe this one under the microscope. Okay? The pellucid layer, you can see it here. Okay? The spongy layer. The pellucid layer contains what? The stalks of what? Palisade. Okay? Air spaces also is in there. Okay? The veins there, this one, supplies the plant with nutrition, with water and minerals. Okay? The stoma or stroma, okay, the lower epidermis, the guard cells. Okay? In the upper part, you can also see also the upper epidermis. The purpose of this is to ensure the plant is protected. Okay, take note that the plant is exposed in UV rays. This is the reason behind. Okay? This is also the reason why you can also see some cuticle, okay, cuticle in some of the leaves. The shiny one, have you seen some of the shiny leaves? Okay. It has a wax also, covered with a wax, even the fruits. I have seen some of the videos that an apple, they tend to remove the wax of an apple. Okay. Yes, the apple has a wax. It's a natural wax. That is to protect the fruit from the effect of sunlight, number one, and from the effect of pests. Okay, that is for protection. Some of the leaves also has that one. Okay, has the protection. Take note again, leaves are exposed in ultraviolet rays or UV rays. Right? Let's tackle first epidermis. Okay, the epidermis is made up of single layer, closely packed cells, which is covered by a protective layer called cuticle. Okay. Again, your cuticle protects the epidermis, or the cuticle reduces water loss because we need water for photosynthesis, and prevents the plant from drying out. The cuticle covering the upper epidermis is clear, allowing sunlight to pass through. This is now the waxy form of cuticle. Okay. The lower epidermis contains a small opening called stomata. Okay. Singular is stoma, which makes possible the exchange of gases, namely carbon dioxide and oxygen. Okay. As well as the release of water out of the leaf, the process called transpiration. Right? So it actually absorbs carbon dioxide in the process. Why? We need carbon dioxide in the light-independent reaction. And oxygen is released in the light-dependent reaction. That's the byproduct of photosynthesis. When you say byproduct, it's a waste product of photosynthesis. If you're going to look at it at a bigger picture, we exhale carbon dioxide because that is a toxin in our system. In the process of respiration or cellular respiration, we tend to inhale, we tend to accept, inhale oxygen because we need oxygen in cellular respiration. That is a primary requirement or ingredients or source in order for us to perform cellular respiration. Okay. Again, the byproduct of photosynthesis is oxygen. Okay. We tend to inhale oxygen in the process of cellular respiration, but we will exhale carbon dioxide, which the plant absorbs in order to perform photosynthesis in the light-independent reaction. Let's tackle it deeper later. Okay. Transpiration is the evaporation of water into the air from the leaves of the plant. Okay. You can actually observe transpiration early in the morning. Okay. I thought it is raining, but I have seen a lot of water drops in my leaf blade. Those are the effect of transpiration. It releases water in the leaf. Okay. Where does that water came from? It actually came from the stomata. Okay. Mesophyll. Photosynthesis happens in the mesophyll. Yes. Which is located between the upper and the lower epidermis. The mesophyll consists of the palisade layer or palisade mesophyll and a spongy mesophyll. Okay. Palisade in the upper, the lower is spongy. Okay. The palisade mesophyll consists of closely packed layers of long cylindrical cells. These cells contain numerous chloroplasts. Take note that the chloroplasts is the area wherein the photosynthesis is involved. It is an organelle involved in photosynthesis because the chlorophyll is there. The chlorophyll is present in the chloroplasts. Okay. The spongy mesophyll is made up of loosely packed, irregularly shaped cells. This layer has a large intercellular spaces that allow the movement of gases. Take note, again, that the byproduct of photosynthesis is oxygen, and the raw materials, or one of the raw materials for photosynthesis is carbon dioxide, such as carbon dioxide and oxygen. Okay. The cells of the spongy mesophyll contain fewer chloroplasts, but they also carry out photosynthesis, but fewer. Okay. The cells in the mesophyll are covered with a layer of moisture. It should be moisturized, which dissolve carbon dioxide, making it possible for diffusion of carbon dioxide into the cell. Okay. To start with, or to power up the light independent reaction or the dark reaction to happen. Okay. Vascular bundle. Okay. This is the one I'm telling you that supplies nourishment to the plant. Okay. Which consists of xylem and phloem. Okay. Is found on the spongy mesophyll. Okay. The xylem carries water and dissolved mineral salts from the roots to the leaves. Again, xylem carries the water and dissolved minerals. Meaning to say, it carries what? It carries the one being absorbed by the roots for nourishment. Okay. The phloem carries food molecules like glucose from the leaves to the other parts of the plant. The phloem carries now what? The output or the product, which is the glucose. Again, xylem carries water from the roots and phloem distribute the output or the product, which is glucose. You still have 7 minutes left. If you have question, please raise it directly. Do you have any questions so far? Question?
None so far, sir.
All right. I want you to ask question if in case. Chloroplasts. The chloroplasts or chloroplastids is the food factory of the cell because photosynthesis happens in the cells of the mesophyll layer of the lamina, specifically in the chloroplast of the cells. This is where photosynthesis or the actual photosynthesis happens. Okay? The chloroplast is a chlorophyll-containing cell. So without chlorophyll, there is no photosynthesis. Okay? A chlorophyll-containing cell, organelle found in plants only and other photosynthetic organisms. Okay? Animals don't have chlorophyll because we cannot actually create our own food. That is why we are termed or coined as heterotrophs or consumers because we tend to consume. We are not producers because we cannot actually produce. Okay? In plants, chloroplasts are generally disc-shaped and move within the cell. Okay? The number of chloroplasts per barracks. Okay? Algae may contain 1 chloroplast per cell. Some higher plants may contain 100 chloroplasts per cell. It depends upon the organism or the species of the plant. Okay? Some bacteria also is photosynthetic. They tend to what? Have a characteristic of a plant. Okay? That is why they are not considered as a plant nor an animal because they can actually create their own food. They are actually in taxonomy, they tend to we actually tend to organize them under kingdom protesta. Okay, because they can actually produce or they can actually perform photosynthesis. They contain chlorophyll. But they are not plant nor an animal because one of the major characteristics of an animal is a heterotroph. An animal should be a consumer in order for them to be organized or to be classified as classified in kingdom Animalia. Okay. Kingdom Plantae, the major classification is they are producers. They are the major producers.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
There have 3 types of consumer. Herbivores, omnivores, carnivores.
Yes. Actually 4. Detritivore. The one eating detritus or dead organic matter. Okay. Let's discuss about that later because it is included in the slide, right? Okay, this is now the illustration of your chloroplasts. As you can see, okay, there are a lot of thylakoid membrane. Okay, these are thylakoids. The disc shape there is thylakoid. This is where light-dependent reaction occurs. Okay, in the thylakoid, right? This is your outer membrane. This is the protective cover of the chloroplast. By the way, chloroplast is a specialized structure. Okay, this is really a specialized structure for food processing. or food making. Okay, that is why it's really protected. The inner membrane, the outer membrane, those are the protections. And the thylakoid is where the actual photosynthesis happens, the light-dependent reaction. Okay, and the light-independent reaction occurred in the stroma. Okay, let's move forward. Chloroplasts are surrounded by a double membrane. Take note, double membrane. It needs to be protected again because it is exposed in UV rays. Okay, called the chloroplast envelope, which consists of the outer membrane and the inner membrane. Between the outer membrane and the inner membrane is the intermembrane space. Okay, the chloroplast membrane surrounds a colorless fluid called stroma, okay, which make up much of the volume of the chloroplasts. Embedded in the stroma are disc-shaped and membranous sacs called thylakoids. Okay, thylakoids or thylakoid membranes contains chlorophyll. This is the light-absorbing pigment. Okay, the space inside the thylakoid disc is called the lumen, which is surrounded by a thylakoid membrane. Okay, the thylakoid discs are piled on top of each other, forming structures called grana. Okay, grana in plural, singular, it's granum. Okay, grana are connected to one another by an extensive network of tubules called lamellae. Okay, the chart that follows further explains functions of the structure. I will let you see it. The chart that follows further explains the function of each structure in the chloroplast in photosynthesis. Okay, again, this is the form. Okay, this is your stroma. Thylakoid. The thylakoid membrane is the one surrounding or cover the entire lumen. Okay, intermembrane space, lamellae. Those are the structure. Okay, still have 1 minute left. I think we need to continue this one by next meeting, simply because time is running out. We have less than 1 minute. Hopefully other offline students can also join because this is quite really complicated topic. Okay, take note, we'll be talking about light-dependent reaction, light-independent reaction, glycolysis, Krebs cycle, or citric acid cycle, and the electron transport chain. Those are really complicated processes. That's why I am encouraging everyone to join the online class. If you're going to check on your module, it needs further discussion